What's going on, Side Squad? We are back in the building, and it's Friday. And let me tell y'all why I could not be happier that it's Friday. Because y'all know what? This Aaliyah album is now streaming on the iTunes and the Apple Music. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and download that self-titled Aaliyah album and go ahead and get to spinning them tunes, because More Than a Woman, We Need a Resolution, all that is on heavy rotation over here down to the Sky Squad headquarters, okay? With that being said, y'all, we got to talk about some things a little light today, because it's Friday, you know. We're going to bring you a little light news. Well, not so light, because, you know, I mean, it's just not a lot of news, okay? We're going to be talking about Lisa Rinna, some things that she had to say about Sutton Strack that I don't like, okay? We're going to talk about Candiace Bassett, something that she said earlier this week. She kind of went off on the fans. And then we got to talk about your girl, Wendy Williams, and it's some bad news for her. So stick around for all that. But before we get into that, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell button. Let me know what you're doing in the chatterization on this Good Friday and where you're watching from, because you know I like to peek through, okay? And go ahead and join that texting community so I can send you a text message as soon as the new video drops. Now, with that out of the way, I'm just going to go ahead and sit this right here. Let me sit this right here. You know, Lisa Rinna used to be one of my favorite housewives. Boy, when she slammed that glass down in Amsterdam and reached for Kim Richards' throat, I was like, oh, yes, you are about to be an icon. Well, fast forward a couple of years, and I don't know if she's as iconic as she'd like to think that she is. And it's usually stuff like this that really just chaps my butt and burns my biscuits, okay? And let me tell you something. This post right here, somebody else had obviously tagged her in it, and it said Dumb and Rinna. And so they were basically doing a take on Dumb and Dumber right here, but they called it Dumb and Rinna with the queen emoji beside her name. So she posted this with a little laughing emoji as if that thing funny. Now, the crazy thing about this is, if you guys recall from season one, well, not season one, but the last season, when we were first introduced to Sutton Strack, it was basically through Lisa Rinna. And she was talking about how rich Sutton was, how rich she is, honey, to quote Lisa Rinna. And now you basically calling the girl dumb, you know. And the thing about it is, you know, this is not something that Sutton would ever post. Sutton would never ever clap back like this, because it just ain't in her persona. It ain't in her personality. She ain't gonna do nothing like that. And it just, like I said, it just burns my biscuits that Lisa Rinna, you know, has become such an IG thug. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that just posts a whole lot of talking and trash talk on social media. But, you know, when it boils down to it, she doing it about people that really ain't gonna come at her crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that just kind of bothered me today when I saw that. Shout out to Reality Blurb. I will place the article link for you guys in the description down below for those of you guys who are interested in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It just bothered me something serious today, okay? Now, let's move on to something else and somebody else that might have been just a little bothered by some of the things that happened to have said on social media after the previews came out for next week's Real Housewives of Potomac, and most specifically after this episode wherein Ashley had accused Candiace Bassett of body shaming her. Now, before I get into that, and I was going to save this discussion, and I'm going to save it'll be part 3 of this discussion, so consider this part 2 because we talked about it earlier. And I asked you guys, did you guys think that Candiace was body shaming Ashley? So what I noticed is on social media, I was not the only one who was asking the question. There was a lot of people who had a lot of thoughts about it as well. And some people made some, you know, very valid points. You know, they talked about the things that Ashley has said about people in previous, you know, seasons. And I'm going to go into something in part 3 of this discussion that Ashley is going to say to Candiace in this upcoming episode. But to take it on back, okay, to take it on back, again, the question was, do you think that Candace was body shaming Ashley. I don't really have any thoughts about it as of yet, because what I'm trying to do is get a better understanding and a better gauge of specifically what people consider to be, off limits for the people on this show. Because one of the things that as I'm sort of watching the landscape of social media, and I'm sort of listening to and looking at the comments and stuff like that, what I'm noticing is that some of the things that these ladies are saying are perfectly okay for a lot of people. And a lot of people feel like, well, if this person has said something like this before in the past, then this person has a right to say something now. So it's very interesting to note how people, are processing the things that people are saying via the show and on social media. So that's just an interesting observation for me. So I'm trying to sit back and trying to listen and learn and trying to understand, how the people processing things. But anyway, speaking of processing, Candace got some things for you to process, okay? You and your Wheaties. Anyway, this is what she had to say. She said, the fact that you minuscule imps continue to insist that I learn my lesson running my mouth, or that I didn't learn my lesson running my mouth last year, is precisely why I will keep my foot on your necks and my finger in your Wheaties. Henceforth, you can't stop me, and most certainly will never shut me up. XO. I love how she ended it with XO. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of the things that Candace says be funny to me. I mean, I think if I don't take it so seriously, then I can just laugh and chuckle at the whole situation, because ultimately it's funny. I mean, who else would find a creative use of the word imp? Okay. Who else will pull that out from the Harry Potter dictionary of terms and bring it henceforth into the modern day times and use it so casually to read the people? Okay. Who else would, make a reference to putting a shellacked fingernail down into your Wheaties as you trying to gather your morning breakfast? You know what I mean? It's just funny to me. And you can't do nothing but laugh at it, because I just feel like, I think one of the things I'm learning also too, as we watch these shows, is to not take such great offense to the things that these people say, because ultimately they're going to forget about it tomorrow, probably. You know what I'm saying? But I just thought it was interesting. I wanted to get you guys' opinion on it. And I saw this on the Urban Bell Mag's page. Shout out to my people over at the Urban Bell Mag. Y'all know I love them. I had seen this over there, and I just wanted to share it with you guys, because I was like, it was so funny. It cracked me up. And I know a lot of people don't necessarily like Candace or whatever, but she gonna stick her finger in your Wheaties. Okay, where does she come up with that? You know what I'm saying? So I honestly can't do nothing but laugh at it at this point, because it's funny. It's funny. But y'all let me know what y'all think. The conversation. But going back to the body shaming conversation, it's gonna get real interesting this coming Sunday. So as you guys watch the conclusion of that, and if you haven't seen the 6-minute preview of the new episode, you're missing out, because you'll see it there too. I'll place that link in the description down below so you can watch it again if you ain't seen it. We got to talk about your girl, Wendy Williams. Okay. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Now, Wendy had been posted this yesterday. It says here, Wendy is dealing with some ongoing health issues and is undergoing further evaluations. She will not be able to complete her promotional activities next week, but can't wait to be back in her purple chair on Monday, September 20th for the 13th season premiere. And we have a lot of well wishes here. I hadn't had a chance to, type in, oh, get well soon or anything like that. But I did, like the post, and I wanted you guys to see the post as well. This concerns me just a little bit, because we understand that Wendy has had some ongoing health issues. And so let me first say that we wish her a speedy recovery. Let me just say we speak life into her situation. Let me just say we speak prosperity into the show for not only the benefit of her family, her employees, the staff, and the guests and the fans who tune into her show on a daily basis and find their source of entertainment, their source of joy, their source of laughter, and sometimes a little bit of offense. You know what I'm saying? Because Wendy can offend some people at times, but we still love her. She is still our auntie in our heads. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking anything away from her with that. And I want to, definitely make sure that we get that out first, because that's the most important thing, is her health and well-being. But aside from that, it's interesting because for me, and I'm just going to speak very candidly right now, I don't think I really would have known that she had any promotional activities ahead of the new season. And I do understand that Wendy tends to go out sometimes. If I look back in time, I understand that Wendy tends to like to go out ahead of time and, hype up the new season or whatever. But I also think that there were things that they could do digitally that would also, get people amped up for the new season. And one of those things that I thought was interesting that they did before was this little post right here. And it's things like this that I feel like, would really allow her to, again, continue to promote this season in a meaningful way that's not so work intensive that it would get in the way of her resting and recovering and gearing up for the new season. Things like this, because it's an homage to the Drake, cover that for the album that came out, Certified Lover Boy. And I just feel like, again, digital, little snippets and snapshots of the crew setting up, and Wendy in the dressing room, reviewing her notes or whatever and musing over whatever she. Listen, y'all know what Wendy, she could just light up a Slim Jim and we'll get excited about it. So I just feel like they could take advantage of those types of things with social media and TikTok and all these other things to, really hype up the season in a way that would still allow her to rest. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, it's concerning for me. And if y'all ever hear this go off, it's my little Bluetooth speaker that I have in my little studio for when I'm trying to prep and get ready. I like to listen to a little, like today I told you I was listening to Aaliyah. But anyway, I digress. This is concerning to me because, again, I mean, if you're like me, you might not have known that she had any type of promotional activities that was going to be leading up to, the premiere of the new season. We just want to see Wendy sitting at the purple chair. That's all we want. Okay. It's concerning because I feel like they might be prepping us for the fact that there may be some other issues that may come up, that could potentially prevent that from happening. And of course, we hope and pray that they don't happen. We hope and pray that she is, again, just as thriving as always. But it does concern me just a little bit. And a part of me wonders, and I don't know if I should, even suggest this, but I'm going to do it, is maybe we should think about paring that show down to maybe once a week. You know how on and it may be something where, and I understand that there's contracts involved and stuff like that, but contracts are made to be broken, okay, if you can, or maybe not. But I sometimes feel like, maybe what would do well for her is some type of Netflix deal or something like that, where maybe she hosts, like a once a week show, when she has like maybe a 13 episode season and just interview some of her favorite guests, kind of like Dave Letterman does with his show on Netflix. I think that there could be some merit in seeing something like that happen for Wendy Williams so that it's less work intensive and we can still get the joy of seeing her on our screens. But it would be a way for her to be able to recharge and rejuvenate and relax and really live her life because she's worked a lot. So just a thought. I know Chelsea Handler did something like that when she left her nightly show 5 nights a week. She went to Netflix as well, and now she's off doing other things. So I don't know. This is just an opportunity, I think, for them to expand in some different ways so that it's less labor intensive for Wendy. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I would still love to see her every single day of the week. You know what I'm saying? But, it just may not be the best thing for her, moving forward. I really don't know. But hopefully she's back in that purple chair on September 20th, and we can still get the same laughter and joy that we typically do from Wendy, and that good little bit of tea and that bit of good auntie wisdom that she tends to impart, on a daily basis. But let me again know what y'all think in the chatterization down below. With that being said, y'all, listen, it's Friday. Go out there and get it this weekend. I mean, get it. I want you to drop it like it's hot. I want you to bend it over, touch your toes. You know what I'm saying? But be safe and wear a mask. You know what I mean? I want you to do all of those things. Get some rest if you need to. Go and listen to that Aaliyah album from top to bottom. Do whatever you need to do to feel like your best self, okay? With that being said, we will catch you guys in the next video.